Hey, thanks for tuning in. It's Mike, the political science guy. A lot of you folks probably are well informed already, and you know that the U.S. Congress has given Joe Biden a spending bill for military aid for three conflicts or potential conflicts going on. You got the Ukraine, which finally is getting funded. You've got Israel, and then you have Taiwan. In addition to which, they have the TikTok has to go under U.S. ownership at some point in the near future. Okay, so what does this all mean? What is the important themes to take out of this? As a political science kind of person, I can tell you that Republicans on the right are saying, well, you know, this didn't go far enough. We should have gotten an immigration part of this package, and, you know, Johnson failed us. And the reality is that politics takes a long time to work itself out. And 15 years ago, the Republicans wouldn't have even thought of putting immigration on a national security bill of this kind of magnitude in these kinds of times. And these are dangerous times that we are in. Okay, the Ukrainians haven't really officially been funded by the United States for the better part of a half a year. The United States is now going to be able to start releasing armaments that have been stacked up in Poland, waiting to go across the Ukrainian border. It also will mean that new generations of anti-missile technology and anti-armor technology are not only going to continue to be funded and developed, but distributed to the Ukrainians who are fighting for their life. It'll also mean that the Russian advance is probably going to come to a stalemate because they're not going to be able to advance without a tremendous cost in life. The Russians are increasing the Army's draft ranks by, lowering the age for people to be drafted and widening that pool. Of course, the closer they get to St. Petersburg and Moscow man pools, the more that you got to be sensitive to the fact that there's going to be some pushback. The Russians are turning their economy into a military economy, which a command dictatorship state can do. A Western state like ours is so much larger than theirs. Their economy is the size of France, and ours is ours, that we could just flex our pinky in theory and produce enough. But the reality is there's a little more to it, because an American dollar vis-a-vis a ruble is much more inflated, which means that it looks like we're spending a lot more money. But what really matters is how many anti-tank missiles is each country going to be able to produce. And if an American anti-tank missile costs 8 times as much as a Russian one, and they're producing the same number of them, that's where the rubber meets the road on the battlefield. Okay, so that's the Ukraine. As far as for Israel and Hamas and Iran and the rest, it means that the Israelis are going to get more resupply for Iron Dome, or they're going to get more resupply for beans, bullets, and Band-Aids, the standard stuff that an army needs in the field because they're getting ready to go into Rafah. One of the reasons why the Israelis held off was because of Ramadan, but the other reason might be because they were waiting for that aid package to come through. The IDF sent most of the civilian force that went into Gaza back to their civilian lives, and now they're going to be calling up folks to do the last cleanup in Rafah. So that's going to happen. In the meantime, the Israelis will continue to target and assassinate, folks that have been helping Hamas, whether they're in Lebanon or Syria or Iraq, whether or not they're Iranians or they're just Shias or whatever they are. They're going to be doing that. They are doing that. After the missile exchange, they still did it. So anticipate that. Now we go on to Taiwan. The United States has made it very clear to the Chinese that they will defend Taiwan. But because Biden has demonstrated such a lack of deterrence, and deterrence is really about getting your potential opponent to understand that you're serious and you're going to go fight, that the Chinese have thought about it and said, maybe we can go in now that their back's turned. But on the other hand, we're a big trading partner, so we're going to have to see if the commitments that we make, both financially and strategically, are going to pay off. I think we put another couple carrier groups into the area, and we've also increased funding. So we'll see if the Chinese say, hey, we don't want to change our whole economic model to capture this island. In any case, TikTok, basically think of it like this. There's some xenophobia that shows up in America from decade to decade, century to century. We're in the midst of it now. The digital age is kind of a very difficult thing for us to get our arms around, and we do not want to have it being used as an information treasure trove for a potential adversary. So I understand that, but I also know that our own folks here in this country would love to edit TikTok so that it was perhaps more friendly to whatever they want. So there's a mixed bag with taking TikTok away from its ownership and making it American ownership, in the sense that maybe what the Congress and the administration are trying to do is to control that source of media. Don't know for sure, but I can tell you that what got TikTok in trouble was the information collection that it was up to. So just bear that in mind when you wrestle with that issue. That's it for now. This is Mike, the Political Science Guy. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate your time, and I'll catch you on the next one.